International recording legend Denny Zager of Zager Easy Play Guitars, and writer of In the Year 2525, the biggest one-hit wonder in world recording history, selling over 20 million records.
I'm almost awake. I think we can do this. It's getting around Christmas time. Well, at least when we're cutting this here. Again, I always, especially around Christmas time, you don't play Christmas music in summer and all that. Doesn't quite fit. But I use Christmas songs as demonstrators. Keep in mind, if you're thinking of hearing just an album play, this isn't it. I'm not in the recording studio, not really. No reverb, no echo, anything. I'm just doing this off the cuff. Playing a Zager, naturally. I been experimenting with guitars forever, and many years ago, I just got tired of putting up with a lot of the stuff that I'd find in the guitars that I purchased. Started teaching, and I saw some of the guitars that come in the door. I thought, I can't teach people on a guitar that I couldn't play. So everything started to change. I started working with my own guitar. Strings were too close together, so I made those a little bit wider. The strings were too high. They hurt my fingers. It didn't stay in tune very well. I could go on listing things. This is what the Zager guitar has, everything that I didn't back then. And got tired of fixing other people's guitars, and built one of my own, and we built replicas after that. The rest is history. But what I'm getting at is I got an advantage demonstrating here today because my guitar is probably 3 times as easy as yours is to play. That's the name of the game. People like a guitar that plays easily. It makes them look good. I'm not cheating in any way. I just fine-edged a piece that really works for people, and this is where it's at. As I said, it's Christmas time, so I'm using a Christmas song to demonstrate. I've got my system that I play. It's a language, as I say it, and I just speak, anything like a story, like you can tell a story and you can change it as you go. Well, this language, I can do the same thing. I can tell it in a different way. I can tell the same story, but I won't use the same angle, and I change it just a little bit as I go. That's the beauty of this thing. It's fun and exciting to do for the player. It's not an easy style. I have taught people this style for the last 40 years. And you can buy it too, in other words, in a book form, and learn how yourself. Now, the song that I was going to demonstrate today, Santa Claus is Coming to Town. It's ancient, but most people know the melody line of it, so they can kind of follow. Keep in mind, if you don't have a good ear to understand some of this, you're only going to get an inkling of what everything is about as far as playing it. I don't have this smooth. Every year comes around, geez, I have to review these things, and I'm not where I should be in this chair here. I get rusty on it. I know the general song already. Lead line, chord structure, bass, rhythm. I do it all at once. I phrase the melody line in certain ways that I choose. This version is my own ideas. I don't read notes, never have read notes. Bore me stiff. 25-25, we threw that together by ear again. Tell you a secret, reading notes is the long way around. It's no fun. I've made my living my whole life without reading notes, and people say, oh my God, you guys did that song and you don't even read notes? Damn right, that's the way it is. take it like it is, because that's the way it happened. That's the way it still does. I started playing when I was 6 years old, and I'm not going to tell you how old. Well, I'm pretty old right now. At least I feel that way. Okay, here we go. Santa Claus is coming to town. This is, I've got the capo on, as you can see up here. The chord changes to this. Actually, I'm playing the chords in the key of G, but since I got the capo on, I've got it moved up, so that would be in the key of A, actually. Okay, chords, I'll just do the intro first. Okay, now, the intro, as you notice, you can hear Santa Claus is coming to town. Now, that was just an introductory. I'm not warmed up yet. And then I do a walk into it. Now the verse. Play it slow so you can follow it. Now I want to do another verse. Lead in. Same thing. I might phrase this a little bit different as I go. Now I'm going to go into what I call a bridge. This is like a train with a caboose, a flat car, a box car. Just keep adding verses, or, make it interesting. I go into a seventh. That's a tough reach. On a Zager guitar, it's not bad. Keep in mind, the Zager guitar plays a lot easier than the regular guitar. You say, well, that's not a regular guitar. It is a regular guitar. I just made it easier to play and augmented it in certain places. Strings are a little bit wider. There's more room for my fingers. They're lower. Less stress. Don't make your fingers as sore. They're accurate all the way on. We've gone in and put thinner braces. It's bassier, rich, louder. Strings fan out further. You get more volume off of it. This is the bridge. Santa Claus is coming to town. Now, Rusty. Now I'm going to augment this just a little bit when come together. Into a bridge. Link it together. Let's see. Can't remember it here. on, kid, keep it going. Told you this wasn't a concert. Last verse. End it. Ad lib. Now again, this style that I'm showing you, it's the Zager language is what it is. And I haven't played this song since last year or maybe the year before that. Now, if I was going to pull that into a professional category, which it is not, as you can hear, I'd get it into a studio, a little equalization, a little fatter bass, maybe a little bit louder in certain areas. I'd rehearse over this 57 times to get it smooth as heck. You can get this system as smooth as can be. You just have to review it, and needless to say, I'm not going to do that in front of the camera. But if I was going to put a pro version of it together, I'd have a new set of strings and all the good things. Review it so it's reflexive. I can't have this down to the point where you saw that one part. I have to review that and rework it out and smooth it over so everything's reflexive. If I have to consciously think about it, I'm not going to make it. I just have to have it reviewed. It's kind of a chain link. Everything's linked. And the verse, the bridge, subconscious memory, reflexive. Gotta be reflexive. It's like riding a bicycle. You don't have to think how to balance. You just balance. And you've done this thousands of times before. You just float on down the street. You're watching where you're going, which is what you should be doing. But what I'm getting at is reflex is everything when it comes to guitar. You have to be able to play these chords like a bar chord. Again, now that just happened to be in the key of G, and I could use that run in a lot of different songs. Well, all the chords I use, it's just like you talking. How many times do you use the word the and? Used them since you've been 2 years old or whenever you started to talk. This language goes that way. That's what makes it so much fun to learn. Notice too, I don't have anybody helping me here. What do you mean? I'm even running the camera myself, which you can tell. This other part, this playing stuff, is easy for me. The stuff that's hard is just, God forbid, camera and computer, whatever you want to call it. You younger set, give it to the 4-year-old. It's kind of funny. When we hired the guy that we did to put our website together, we talked to him on the phone, and he had all the credentials. He could do any and everything. We thought we were talking to a guy that was, I believe, 35, 40 years old. And he says, yeah, I can do this, and do it. Well, so we said, come on in, and we'll, have a talk with you. Well, he comes in, his dad drives him up in the car. He knew 10 times what I knew on the computer, enough to design a whole website and God knows what. He's been working for us now for, 12, 13, 14 years. but that gives you an idea. The older set, just hand it to the kid over here, 5, 6 years old. He'll get you out of your problem. No, that's the way it goes these days. But anyhow, as I started out to say too, the Zager guitar is my godsend. I I know it. You get to know it like you know your car if you're driving, or your bike, or whatever it is. Everything's reflexive. You don't have to think about it. It's the one machine that you ride all the time or drive all the time. You get used to it, and it becomes more safe as you ride or drive. And the guitar that you use, you get so used to it, and especially one like this that plays 40 to 60% easier than the normal guitar. And it just becomes a joy to be around. It sounds good. It's a turn off. I mean, a turn on, not a turn off, which is the way most people start out playing. And it's when I taught, the first thing I looked at was their guitar. And if they didn't have one that I could play and, say, hey, this is a nice piece, I say, hey, you can do better than that. You need an encourager, not a discourager. And they could have the wrong strings on, stiff, hurt your fingers, sound poorly. How do you learn a sense of pitch? You say, well, I don't know if I have one. You don't. But the only way you learn one is listening to a guitar that comes in tune and stays in tune. If it won't do that, it won't give you that. You say, well, is that a gift? No. You have to work and you have to memorize it. But if you have a good guitar to play and have fun doing it, you're drawn to it. And as you're drawn to it, you spend more time. That's the magic. The real gift, do you have a gift? You have a real gift if you have the desire to do it. And that's where it goes. As an instructor, I always pick their favorite songs. And geez, I didn't have to push them to practice. They were pulled into it. They couldn't keep their hands off of it if they had a good guitar. Here's one right here. It's called a Zager. So think in those terms. It's really important. I've got many more. Where these come from, listen up. We're here. Thanks for listening. Bye for now.